Hi there, I have a few solid and hollow tips for modelling enthusiasm. As myself am a modelling enthusiast, here's a little something that I've done, just a quick show because I do not want to show that just yet, and there's a reason for that. So I've got a lot of stuff to show at this point, and I want to show some of it how it's made. I collect the double L gauge HO scale, as you can see from this piece of track that I just moved from the camera to put that there to block what I've constructed there, so you didn't see it properly, because I will show you it properly a bit later on. Plus there's some features missing off it, but we'll get to that. Anyway, with the double L gauge, I don't just collect the actual double L gauge HO scale, because I will eventually be collecting N gauge, but it's the N009, which is equal to the double L gauge as in Fastigion Railway, which if you actually look at the Fastigion Railway, it is an N gauge to the standard gauge in real life, and that's what I'll be getting onto soon. So moving on from the track, that is a Hornby piece that I don't just collect Hornby, I collect a variety of pieces, a variety of locomotives. I don't just go for one, it's got to just look immaculate to me. It's like something like this. This here is made by Wicking. If I can put it in the light, you should just be able to see it. It says it right there. I don't know if you can make out the letters, but it's this word at the bottom here on this side towards the front wheel. This here is a Jaguar S-type, so it does look the part. Now I think I can just make out the letters on the screen there, and you should just be able to see that. That's made by Wicking. Wicking is not the only thing I go to, but that looks the part. Unfortunately, steering doesn't work and stuff like that, but I've seen people where they've actually altered these, put motors in them and put the steering on them, which hopefully I will be looking into to do that myself. But I recommend if you're a child and you'd like to do the enthusiasm of constructing stuff, get an adult to help you. Anyway, moving on to locomotives for a bit. We will have a look at some other vehicles, but just to show you what I mean by that I collect different varieties. Like this is an interesting piece. This is a Drummond M7. Now, I had problems with this Drummond M7 when I first bought it. The motor inside wasn't working properly, so I rebought the chassis. The chassis that I bought was supposed to be in working order, but it ended up having the same problems, so I converted this. I braced in a new motor that's inside there, but it needed 2 pickups. On this it's supposed to have originally only have 1 pickup. Using the pickups off both of the chassis, I braced them together and put both of them on here, held by the proper screw. There is nothing changed on this except the motor. Them pieces there, once I undo that screw, the lock comes out. Unfortunately, on the other chassis I bought, this had been melted down already. I did not do that. Otherwise, if it hadn't been melted, I would have just done what I've done with it anyway, which is screwed it on top of the other one. That's how I managed to get both of the pickups in line. Turn this one upside down, the other one's facing the right way, so the pickups are actually in the same place as one another to the wheels. But this has a good feature as well. You can actually, on this, for a triangle piece, this is what actually caught my eye. On this, I paid about £20 for this. Now, buying both chassis, I'd say probably £60. I've seen this locomotive go for near enough £100. But there we go. You can actually open the smoke box. Now, do not get confused with a firebox and a smoke box. This here is the smoke box. The part where you get the fire inside the cab, that's known as the firebox. That's what makes all the water boil for the engine to run. It does push pistons, but unfortunately the pistons are not on the outside. As you can see, there is nothing connecting to the rails for the pistons. The pistons are like on a car. Inside, except for being pushed by fuel, it is pushed by water. Moving on to the next one. This one, a Holden tank, where, as you can see, pistons are on the outside on this one. Now this is not Triang, this is Hornby. I know Hornby and Triang teamed up years ago and made Hornby Triang. I might have some Hornby Triang in rolling stock, I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that's a Hornby piece. Then we have this. Now you'd think that this would be a load of rubbish because it's made by a bit of a rubbish company in my eyes, which is Lima. Well, I've got to admit, it is worth looking into Lima because sometimes they do actually make some good stuff. Like this 262 here. Now you're going to think, oh my gosh, there's going to be some falseness about that. I do not do falseness. I can't stand falseness. And I'll show you what I mean by falseness in a minute when I show you the locomotive. I am actually taking it out of the box to show you why I collect different varieties. Because some of these locomotives do look really, really good but can have false features. This one does not. The bogies both move perfectly. All these wheels are attached by that rod, because on some of these Lima locomotives you can have these wheels where they do not attach by the rod, which in my eyes gives it the falseness. On the old Triang ones, these wheels in the middle would have been bald. It can happen with some of the Lima locomotives as well, but this one is flanged. All the wheels are flanged on this. There is nothing false about this. Once again, outside pistons, which is what you want on your locomotive if it's supposed to have outside pistons. Now, my next locomotive is brilliant for detail. Brilliant. It's probably one of the best detailed locomotives I've ever seen in my life. Believe it or not, it's actually made by a well-known company. I only recently discovered that they actually made locomotives, because when I discovered this model maker, it wasn't through locomotives I found it. I didn't even know that they actually started making locomotives, and it is very well known. This is all double O gauge what I'm showing you. This is probably the last double O gauge piece that I'm showing you, and it's made by Oxford Rail. Now Oxford Rail didn't just make didn't start out making trains. They made this, known as Oxford Diecast. This here is a Scammell's Garage. That trailer does actually is supposed to do that, detach and attach. There we go, it's hooked back on and it's detached again. But to prove that it is supposed to detach, there's the stand for the trailer. So that there, nice little Scammell's Garage. All the wheels move. It's all realistically moving, same on the Viking Jaguar S-Type. It all moves about, no steering or nothing, but with the trailer detaching and that, if the trailer didn't detach, I wouldn't have wanted it. Because in real life, trailers detach. If a trailer doesn't detach, then it's a load of rubbish. But anyway, moving on to the locomotive. I'll put that over there. Of the Oxford Rail. Now there are some pieces on this that I haven't put on yet because I need a special glue to do so. It's recommended not using super glue because you're what's the word? What's the word when you it'll make it look a mess, is what I'm trying to say. Can't think of the actual word that I was looking for. You lot might know what word I was looking for, but I don't know. But look at that for detailing. All the wheels are real. They all move. There's no bald wheels on there. These ones move side to side to help it get around corners, and this runs really, really beautifully. All my locomotives run beautifully. I will show in later videos of these actually moving the buffers on this are actually sprung, and if you can look inside the cab, you can just see the handbrake sticking out. You can see the thing that the twist to actually start rolling the wheels, to start pushing to get the water to start pushing the pistons. I'll show you through the window now. There is actually glass in the windows. I'm not sure if it's plastic or if it's actually real glass, but if I can get that on the camera, if you can see inside. No, I can't really see inside there, but you can actually see all the pressure rods, the handbrake, everything, the lot, even the that thing where they push it back and forth and that to keep it keep the pressures down, because if you overpressure one of these, they will tend to blow the boiler. That's a steam locomotive for you. So everyone thinks, yeah, that driving a locomotive is very simple. Do not get it confused. They are not simple, because getting them going is very easy. But you try and turn the pressure gauges the right pressure to stop the pistons from spinning, so you can put the handbrake on to stop the wheels from spinning. Good luck to you. And another feature on this, notice that this has got large couplings. Now this actually comes with small couplings. I rebought these couplings hoping that I could change the couplings, and I figured out I actually could change the couplings. And I'm going to show you that, how it's actually done with these. These are the couplings I bought for it. These ones. Notice it's got 2 pins there. This is the original one. They just slot in and out, and they grip really, really well. I would recommend buying Oxford for detailing and precision locomotives, because this actually runs to its actual speed, and it's not fast. It is actually a very slow locomotive, but it's quite powerful. I will give it that. I haven't managed to put a train on it yet where it hasn't pulled it. And I do actually have a variety of trains. Even a breakdown train, this thing can actually shift it with no effort. I could probably put about 3 of them as a rough estimate. I haven't tried it to its full potential. I'm not exactly sure how strong this locomotive is, but it's not weak, that I can guarantee. I'm going to pop it back in its box. We get the bag that come with it, because as it says, there are parts to it that I need to glue on. It fell on the floor as I opened the box. But there's one of the other couplings that was originally on it. But I want to try and move that out of the way if I can. Oh, for Christ's sake. There we go, I'm getting it out of the way. Yeah, all the pieces are in there. Can you see those little black pieces? Somewhere on that locomotive, these have to be glued on. I'm going to put the other couplings back in here. Put it back away, because it's not really trains that I want to be talking about at the moment, or vehicles. I'm just showing you a variety of collection of some of my actual good stuff, what's actually took my eye. So I did buy the Stephenson's rocket at one point, but it broke on me. But luckily enough, I refound it, and hopefully I managed to get it before somebody else does. So hopefully I'll be doing video reviews of that, because I will do an actual video review of all my locomotives. So moving on to HO scale. HO scale, let's go to the tractor first. I have a HO scale 187 tractor. Oh, now let's show you the trailer first, because it comes with the trailer. That's the trailer for the tractor. The bogie moves, the wheels move. This is actually one of the best detailed vehicles I've ever seen in this scale. One of the best, because there's nothing false about it. The only downfall with this, which is not really a downfall, is it's plastic. But so what? It actually not weak plastic. It's quite strong. I haven't really had any problems with this, apart from one of the wheels fell off because I dropped it by accident. But this is the tractor. Now when I say about falseness, this one has no falseness whatsoever. The back wheels roll backwards and forwards as I'm supposed to, so to the front, but I'm not going to roll them just yet because this also swings side to side. If I show you. Yep. So it has suspension, but all in all, it has steering at full range. And there you go, that's the wheels moving. So that rolls really well. The trailer, when I put this on, is actually quite hard to detach. And it's quite hard to attach at the same time. Like that. I'll bring it back to the camera when it's attached and you'll see what I mean. You'll probably hear me click it. Oh, it clicked on quite nicely that time. And there we have it. It is attached like that. I'm trying to pick it up. There we go. So you can see that it is actually properly attached and manoeuvrable. It proper clicks on. I am actually giving that a bit of a tug and wobbling it about. It still hasn't fell off. So that's a good feature. Right. HO scale locomotives. Yes, I do have some. Now this one, another well-known train company. It is missing its rail guards, but I am actually glad it's missing its rail guards because I want to rebuild them. And I noticed on the middle one it's supposed to have a chain. You can make out that it's supposed to be a chain, but it's actually moulded plastic on the original ones. These, but if I was to put one of those on there, I know they have to be black rails. I'm going to put a real chain on it. Hence realisticness. Why not? It also has working light, which I will eventually find out where the backlights go, and I will put backlights in on this, but I'm not messing about with that until I know exactly what I'm doing with it. Once again, all real wheels. There is one little feature that seems unrealistic, is that you can actually roll those wheels, but I've got something to tell you. I don't care that them wheels roll freely on the because it's supposed to be a 6-wheel drive. It still gives off the power it's supposed to and runs dead slow as it's supposed to. It is I think it's a Baldwin switcher, one of the diesel Baldwin switchers. I'm not 100% sure on that, but in America they call them switchers. In our country we call them shunters, which is Britain. Now another one, this is quite an interesting one. This is a theme. Now these can go for some money, and I mean they really can. I got this for a bargain. It was sold to me as a project locomotive because some idiot didn't know what he was doing with it, is what I think. That was sold to me as a project locomotive, said what you see is what you get. Yeah, the wheels wasn't working, the motor inside wasn't working, all because sorry, no, the motor was working but the wheels wasn't. It was the wheels that was causing the problem with this, because there are brushes there. If I was to squeeze those wheels, they would squeeze onto that brush, and I'm not going to do it because I'd have to take it all apart just to move the brushes apart, because these wheels sit in a piece of plastic inside the thing, inside the it's got a plastic axle that's holding the wheels, and you can slide the wheels off the plastic at different angles. So if I was to press one and then press the other, it would, one would press in, the other one would stay out. If I was to press them both in and try to pull the one out from the brush, it would just probably push the one completely off and leave the other one stuck to the brush. You'd have to take it completely apart just to move it from the brushes. But as soon as I moved it from all the brushes, this thing worked perfectly. It's even got a front light that actually really works. I've had this running and it's a really nice locomotive. I paid, I'd say £29, with that's with post and package. Because all in all it was up for £25. Really nice locomotive. The couplings I had to put on myself because it was missing the complete coupling thing, but the way I put them on, and you can see, you can tell that I've built that with that piece of metal. Same on the back one, and if you can tell that the different screws as well that they've held in, they do move about. They don't spring back and forth, which is a slight bit of a downfall, but it's not, because I've actually tried these couplings with the rolling stock that I have for it, and the couplings work. All I need to do really with this is just get 2 fans for that bit. Everything else, perfect. So say £29. I'm not complaining whatsoever, considering that I've seen these go for nearly off 200. So that's the theme. Now you can see what I mean by different categories. Also, another good feature to be looking at, Mantua, just for rolling stock. Now, it's not all that, but it does look good. I mean, it would be even better if I could remove the crates off this, but I can do that sort of, but I have to remove the whole lot of it, which is like this. Move that and you can replace it with a blank one of those where it hasn't got the crates, so I can make it seem like a real feature, so I'm not complaining about that. I've got 5 of these for £60. It was kind of a rush thing, to be honest, because I had no rolling stock for locomotives at the time. Then I bought these. I have recently bought more rolling stock because one feature I wanted that I've never really owned was a caboose, and I did manage to buy one. I found it cheap, but a caboose doesn't really do much, so I didn't really take much care on it. But this one is made by Mantua. On my camera it's showing it all back to front. You'd have to be reading that way. But as I says, always wanted a caboose. I did buy one from Tyco. Now there's not much detailing to this at all, not much, but the detailing is not too bad. All my rolling stock and both my locomotives are from Santa Fe, Burlington Route, Santa Fe, which on this one it just says Burlington Route, it doesn't say Santa Fe anywhere, but on the big one, if you notice the letters, the BNSF, Burlington Northern Santa Fe. This one is ATSF, which is Atchison, Topeka and Santa Fe. They are all Santa Fe. So that's quite a good feature to be having for a starter on the HO scale. There's not one thing I've got that isn't Santa Fe, except for a Pickles wagon, which it doesn't actually say where it's from. It could be from anywhere. I only bought it because it had realistic opening doors on a lot of my stuff. Now moving back to a Lima piece, because now I'm starting to get on to the constructing of what I've been doing. This nice little coal truck. I am actually working on something to actually build a feature to this that will make it seem realistic, but I'm not doing anything to the wagon. I'm building something for the wagon. Now I'm going to show you some of the equipment that I use for building stuff. I use these. You won't believe how helpful these can really be. cocktail sticks or toothpicks, if you will. I don't care what you call them. But once again, I don't just buy one brand or anything like that. I actually have 2 sets of these, and the reason being, right there, let me just get it out of the truck. The reason being is some of these have patterns on them. This is another one. It's a lot bigger. So, yep. Now I'm going to show you some that I actually cut down to size. You can do that. Using a Stanley blade, you can easily chop them down to a size of this. And these actually have a purpose. They're not just chopped down randomly. These actually serve a purpose. Because another good thing to use for constructing stuff, just to be cheap and keep it simple, but make it look the part. Would you believe that that's paper? That is just plain paper. That has just been rolled up into tubes. If you look there, there is a hole through the tube on that one. All the others are solid. That is solid. It's really hard to actually bend that, which is really good. I didn't just make one though, I made 2. Look like gates, don't they? Now using this toothpick, if I put this through this hole, I've just made that gate open and close. Because that's what they are. They are gates. Moving to the thing that I showed you at the very start. It is a level crossing. What do you think the gates are for? And they do actually fit onto this because this is all made of cardboard. Cheap, easy. I bought the trees, I bought the plants. I probably spent about £7 on this. How much is a Hornby level crossing? And which one looks better? The Hornby one or this one? Ignore that moving about, it's supposed to. For this. As you can see, there is no track in there. But without damaging the track or making any amends, I can put the track in. Obviously, this middle bit, as you can see, it's got a bit of a lip on the thing which I managed to cut with a Stanley blade. What I did was to do this, was actually cut the actual length of the rails of this, and then I cut a strip out of that part before after I've done that, and scraped it all off, leaving the lip behind, just so that this could easily, got it right, yeah, very easily, let's get it on the camera, slot in the middle of the track. Look how well that's actually going in. Look at that. Not moving about. Let's not press down on that part properly. Hold on a minute, I'm going to need to run a rope wagon over it. Use this wagon just to push it in properly. Oh yeah, I heard something click. Okay, but when a locomotive goes over it, it pushes that bit down anyway and keeps it held in. But all in all, that looks perfect. And I'm going to show you this. I am going to get this little tiny car with the littlest wheels. I don't think you get a car smaller than that. Well, you probably can, but not for equality size. It's probably the smallest. It's not even making effect to it. And I have run locomotives over this, and it does work. Now, shall we put some gates on it and see how well it really looks? Because that's what the gates are for. See, there's the toothpick going into the cardboard. Goes in nice and tight. As you can see, there are more layers on the cardboard. Best to have, so you can stick the rail in between the track, and you can actually put stuff like this, trees and stuff like that, because these don't have stands. They are just stuck into the cardboard, which makes it very easy to manoeuvre. Watch. Show you that these really do work. hold on, I've got it on top of the plants. If I turn that way, it's not going to move because it's held by the thing. But if I did that, see, well, would have got caught on the track a little, which doesn't really matter that much. I think that one's supposed to be on this side. And we'll change the gate because I think both the sticks are the exact same size. I have checked the size on them. So yeah, that one's not. Oh, it's catching on that bit. I wasn't doing that before. Oh, I've got it upside down. I think, have I? No. Wait there. Something's not right here. That shouldn't be catching on that. Something's not right. Shouldn't have took both of the gates off. I'll have to try and figure out which way around to go. Give me a minute, I'll pause the video and show you how well these really work. Right, I have sorted it. I have both gates on there. If I did that, I don't know if you just caught that, but that just swung very easily. Now that one's not going to swing because it's held straight, but it should. Oh, that one's stiffer than the other one, but it's not catching on anything anymore. What it was, I think that was the one that held first. As you can see, it's a little bit lopsided again. It just needs that bit perking up a little. And it will hold its shape. There we go. It doesn't catch on anything. So, considering to a, what do you call it? A Hornby level crossing, I think that's pretty neat. This is an old fashioned one, that's why it's only got these gates. As you can see, there's actually moss managed to get on the road because it's going to be a road that didn't really get used very well. Moss, instead of just coming off the grass, because moss doesn't actually survive very well on grass, I don't think. I've never seen it on grass anyway. But I have seen it go down there and I have seen it on some roads and it does get about. I've seen it on top of bins and all sorts. Bins of plastic. So that's one of the good features. Now, I don't just build standard stuff like that. Because to me that's standard. I mean, it would be nice to put some street lamps down on it, which I may do in the future, because I have actually built stuff that do have street lamps. Now, I'm going to show you a little something first. Hold on, I've got to go to the toilet, so I'm going to pause the video and I'll come back and show you the next thing. Right, I'm back. Sorry folks, I'm not going to move on to the electronics just yet, because I just want to point out a few more little errands with this, because I said I paid about £7 for this level crossing. I should have said that I paid about £7 for about 10 level crossings, because I could build more very easily. Now, something I want to say is how I done the road, the paving and all the grass and the trees. As I said, I bought the trees. I did get a big massive bunch of them for about 10 quid. So I'd say, you know what, the trees weren't even that much then. So probably less. I'd say about a £5, if that. I don't know, but pennies. I also bought those off eBay. I think that was about £7. I also bought the grass. So I still have the stuff to actually rebuild this level crossing, because how I did the road, you wouldn't believe it, but I couldn't actually get any black paint anywhere, and I couldn't find nothing. But my stepdad, he had some shoe polish, and he told me to use that on the road. It looks really realistic, very realistic for a road colour. Black shoe polish. The lines there, they're not painted on either. I just cut a plain piece of paper straight. Same with the double yellows, but it was yellow paper that I got from a magazine or something. Can't remember exactly what it was. So now, moving on. I'm not sure if I showed you the grass roll. Well, I've still got plenty of that as well. Now, moving on to electronics. Right. I bought I built this. My little brother graffitied it for me because I asked him to. But as you can see, it's got lampposts on it. I broke that one just to make it look older because the bulbs blew in these, and I couldn't replace the bulbs. They did have wires on them. That's why they're actually underneath there, but I cut the wires off because them lights are actually no good. So I would not recommend buying those, and I wouldn't recommend using LEDs either. So I don't use LEDs. I use these, and they are pretty cheap to get if you get the right lights. These, believe it or not, are actually out of Christmas lights. Now when I say Christmas lights, you'd think, oh my days, he's not using Christmas lights. These are not just any old Christmas lights. These are actually equivalent to an LED, but they are not LED, they are light bulbs. I'm going to show you in a minute what the difference is between light bulb and the LED. Just give me a minute, I'm going to have to find something. I'll probably use the back of a cigarette. Give me a second. Right. This is a light bulb. I've just got that off a cigarette that was in the ashtray. It doesn't matter to me because I'm only putting it on one side of one of these light bulbs. Let me get that one that's got straighter wires. But these are out of a Christmas rope light. And you can get them pretty cheap if you know where to look. And these bulbs are not some little shitty bulbs. These are actually quite bright, and they do withstand some power. By rights, when I first undone the lamps, undone the lights, I actually blew one of these bulbs up because it was actually recommended with 3 amps. 3 amps was too much for one light bulb. But the way I do my electronics, you're not going to believe how simple this is to actually keep these lights going. You do not need the 3 amps at all, as I will demonstrate a bit later on. There we go, is that going on? Yeah. I need the wire to go through to the other side. Right, there. So if you can see that, I've got an old filter on one side of the wire, and the other one is just completely open. If I can show it a bit better. Yes, that is noticeable. Hold on a minute, let me get rid of that bit of fray there. There we go. So you can see that I'm not doing anything to muck this light bulb up. I'm going to put that to one side a sec. I'm going to show you another feature of a build that's going to help with these lights. This is the standard Hornby controller. These are actually used for lights. If you're clever like me, you'll figure out a way to get them to work properly. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you something that I built. Yes, it's a cardboard box, but it's not just any cardboard box, because that bit there is that there because I ended up having a broken controller and I tried to take it apart and fix it, but I broke all the casing. So I rebuilt this on a cardboard box. As you can notice, there's a bit of foam underneath there, so the electronics ain't catching to the cardboard, heating it up and probably causing fire. That is actually known as fire resistant. The only thing you can do with that is melt it, but you need a lighter, a naked flame to do so. You are not melting it with electric, not unless if you're heating the electric to friggin' strong enough to burn wood. Same on the other side. As you can see, I did put a positive and negative. I'm not sure if that positive and negative is accurate, but I did it just to make a feature of saying positive and negative. But it does not matter whether it is positive or negative. It could be accurate, I'm not sure, because I may have tested it with an LED, because you can do that with an LED. But the reason why this is not an LED and it is a light bulb is because, now I don't know which side of the light bulb I put this on, but that has just lit up, as you can see. Now I'm going to show you that again, that I've got the naked wire to the positive. That doesn't look right. Am I looking at that right? Oh yeah, no, I'm looking at it right. I've got the naked wire to the positive and the one with the filter on to the negative, and that's what lit up. As you can see, it is lighting up, but it's sort of getting in the way. Now I'm going to turn this light bulb around. So now the filter is going to the positive and the naked wire is going to the negative, and it still lights up. Because these are light bulbs, because they do not have a positive and a negative, where an LED does. Now I'm going to pause the video a second just to put all my light bulbs back in the bag. Right then, so this is the train station I've built. Obviously I made that lamp to look like that, as it's been stood there for ages. I will make this a bit overgrown and stuff eventually, and it might make a good feature. As you can see on the roof, it's got a nice corrugator on there, which all I've done was peeled the top layer off a piece of corrugated cardboard just to give it that texture. As you can see, it is actually got cardboard underneath. Oh yeah, you can do that. You can actually, clever enough, try and double up the corrugator on that, let it settle, and then peel off the other side to actually make corrugated sheets. But anyway, another good thing to have to be constructing with is string and sewing kit. Now you'd think, how would that help with constructing? Well, if you take a look at my suspension bridge, you got string going up here, cotton's going down there. Now this is quite good because I can actually remove these, and there's a reason why I remove these. I'm going to be careful because I don't want the bridge to actually bend, because I don't want to break any wires. But this does actually have lights on it. Inside these are those light bulbs that I showed 5 minutes ago. Oh yeah, on there, cotton, where it's held up by the patterned cocktail sticks to give it a good feature. Then we put the suspensions back up. Now these are not actually glued to the cardboard at all. Except for that there. That's the only thing that is glued to the cardboard. Now I know there's another one this side, but I can actually pull it out, which is in there, and take it right the way out because it is not glued. Same on this side and same on the other side. That is the only bit that is glued. As you can see, there's another one of those cocktail sticks in the middle, which gives it a nice good texture of a guardrail, so it doesn't catch into the suspensions as the train goes past, because the train actually runs over this. Now, light bulbs, as it says on the other one, I better not just broke a wire there, no. As it says on the other one, fuck's sake, just trying to break wires. So I've tried to do this video a fair few times and it's failed. Right, on the lights here. Oh, also I should show this actually. a warning sign of high voltage. Pay attention to these warning signs, because these warning signs are not false. Because if I move these wires out of the way once more, just give me a sec. Should have showed you this in the first place. So you want to be careful where you're putting your hands on this, because if you can see on this side here, you can see two lines going down. They are exposed wires. If you was to touch them while it was plugged in and switched on, it would probably give you a nasty little static shock. So I'm going to put that back up. I'm going to show you something else now. Light bulbs, as I said on this, them light bulbs is blown, couldn't change them. Using the light bulbs I have, using my brain, I use this toothpick. I can pick up these pieces of aluminium that I got from a food tray, what you'd get from a Chinese or some of the trays that pies come in, stuff like that, fast food stuff. I peel them back and just move them back. The wires are attached to these. I'm going to need that again. It's not that fiddly at all. It's just getting all that out of the way. Once I get that out of the way, I should be able to show you the light bulbs. Now that is the same aluminium as what I just moved off inside there, which will get off food trays because it's nice and strong. Excuse me. Nice and strong, and attach the wires to the metal on that side. Make sure you have some hanging over on the back for the other bits of metal to connect to those to make the lights work. And to change the bulbs, all you do, if you can see, the wire is actually wrapped to the front. Peel that back over the top and you just pull the light bulb out and you can put another one in. That's why I prefer to use what I'm using. If the light bulb blows, I can change it with no effort. And don't worry about this being hollow, because I am going to be building a lid on there where it looks like it's got a little roof on top. I haven't done it yet. I did do it at one point, but I think it got crushed. No, not think it got crushed. They did get crushed. Travelling them about, you ended up getting crushed. Because I didn't take care of where I was actually putting them, because of how solid they felt. I mean, this bridge actually took me 3 attempts to build. Can't remember what actually went wrong. Oh yeah, the cables on it kept on messing up, but when I did the cables the way that I've done this time, I haven't had no problems. So when you try something, don't give up on it. I mean, I'll show you in a minute that I did sort of give up on it, but I didn't give up on it as such. Because I do have another one of these that is broken, but I never chucked it away, kept it there so I could learn from my mistake. And I learned very well, because I have now a working suspension bridge. So, should we light this up? Show you how the lights are, right? There are 2 here, 2 on this side, 2 on this side, and 2 on the other side. How I light it up is with this same box. But you're thinking, how am I going to connect that to the bridge? Right, good feature so you don't have wires travelling everywhere. That there plugs onto the bridge. That is actually a plug, and it does have the other connector on the bridge. But another thing you want on one of these because you don't want your light staying on all the time and having to undo all the wires. Further on down we have here the on and off switch, and then the wires that connect to the box. So I'm going to connect it to the box. Obviously red would be positive, so I'm going to connect to the positive. Good thing as well on this is I have actually a wire that fits perfectly to the controller. Unfortunately I had to build this one myself. This one I found inside an old heater that someone was throwing out. This one I built myself. I have actually separated that wire slightly, because if I ever find another one of these I will be replacing that. Well, here we go. Let's undo the positive on this. These just screw on and off very simply. Put the wire on, and there's the screw piece that I just took off. I'll pop that back on there, screw it down, and then move the bridge out of the way a minute so you can actually see what I'm doing. As it says about that, screw it down, make sure it screws right tight to the wire. I say, right, the wire's being a bit of a pain. I'll get my fingers in the way now. There you go. You can see it's starting to actually push the wire itself. No, it's not. Oh, then it's undoing the nut. You're gonna have to give me a second. I'm gonna have to sort that out. Let me pause the video a minute. And right, I accidentally paused the video before I finished my sentence. At the end of that sentence I was going to say start again. So there it is back on. There's the nut from a positive. The reason why it wouldn't hold in place properly. There you go. Ain't much simpler. Nice and tight, so the wires don't move about, collide with one another. There we go. Nice and tight. Undo the negative. There's a negative wire. It goes on the same way as the other one, the way that I've built it. And then I'm going to screw that on there. Instead I have to make a kerfuffle about that one, because that one's perfect. That one barely moves anywhere. That's it. That is now connected. There's the wire. Keep following the wire. So we come to this plug. Can't remember where I got this plug from, to be honest. But you'll notice as well there's a USB on this, because these light bulbs are not working on a complete circuit. They are working on a split circuit, which makes it awesome, because that USB, I have tested this as well, can plug to another USB and light up. Here's the switch we're looking for. Switch plug we're looking for is this one, the 2-pin. Which this just slots on like that. The moment of truth, like I said, I've done this video a fair few times because the bulbs kept messing up, because I kept on snapping a wire by accident. But in all fairness, this should be working properly. And there we have it. Can't see the other lights at the moment. I want to bring the camera around just to show that them lights are working. Those lights are working. those lights are working. And those lights are working. It's the other one just yeah, nice and bright. I mean, if you give me a moment, because I need toilet again. When I come back, I'm going to turn all the lights off. Well, play the video, turn all the lights off as quick as possible so you can see exactly how bright it is. I'll move the camera a bit further back as well, so you can see it. Right, I know the video accidentally unpaused, sorry, as I was moving the camera about to actually set it up to see the bridge. But you can see that I'm going to now turn the lights off. I forgot about the light in the gecko tank. There's also a light coming from the gecko tank, but I'm sure that that's very noticeable with those lights. I'll try and make it a bit darker in a bit after I've shown the next feature of what I've built. Then I'm going to show you what I'm going to be constructing, and I'm going to make video updates on how I'm constructing it, because I don't just do stuff that stands still because it looks boring. I'm going to pause the video again. I'm going to have a cigarette and I'm going to set up for the next item. Actually, before I do show the next item, I just want to show that how easy it is to actually put a track in this, because once again there's no track. You just take that bit out. It takes 3 of these, which I've got all 3. Very simply, just push the one in, leaving the fish plate sticking out like that, because you don't want to end up damaging those putting the track in. You attach it in the next piece, make sure that it's flush with the fish plates, and then just carry on pushing. Very simple. I probably should take these off to help it balance it out, because it does fold about this, which it's meant to, because it's a suspension bridge. But with it folding about, it's actually easier to put the track in, because you can actually press down on it and let the track slide. 1 minute. There we go. All the way up to the fish plate just sticking out. Add your next track. And just carry on pushing it through. I'm not damaging any track, I'm not damaging anything. All this is very simple, and it's one of the solid tips, not hollow. Obviously this bit goes in. Tell me that this does not look neat and look like a proper suspension bridge. It just goes in the same way as it goes in on a level crossing. So for this time we're using 3 tracks. Can be a bit difficult getting the tracks in and out. I'd recommend using something to push on the sleepers to take the thing out. I have tested locomotives on this and they do run over it, same on the level crossing. And then all you do is put these back up on top of here. Okay, I'm not breaking anything, not ruining anything. It's all working perfect. I will show you exactly how smooth it is for something to run over it. Wherever that wagon's gone, it's gonna run out. Where is it? Like that. I can't find the wagon. Give me 2 minutes. I'm pausing the video again because I don't want to take up too much time, and I don't want you to be just staring at this while I'm looking around for something. There we go. Right, I couldn't find the wagon that I was looking for, but I have found another one. And this is how well this works. No derailment or anything. Fortunately, can't really put much pressure on it. But yeah, it does work really well. And I have had locomotives run over this. So I'm going to pause and get ready to show you the next feature. Right, the next feature is this. Notice it has a little hole there that is a USB. So I can connect on more things. As you can see, there's a bit of silver there, so obviously this has electric, and on this side we have a USB. As I said, I have tested the USB on the bridge and it does work. It's also for this, with being able to change light bulbs. I built this, which is a lamppost. As you can see, there's a light bulb in there. All you do is slot them out. There's pieces of the tin foil stuff inside that's rolled up into tubes, rolled around a needle. So you have to try and pull these wires very straight and then push the, in the light bulb. Right. This one is for this side. And obviously I have another one which goes on this side. Now I'm going to be pausing the video again in a minute to show you that, and then on the other side. I'm going to be pausing the video again in a minute, so I want to show you this light up. So give me quite a while because I'm plugging it somewhere else and you're going to see this in the dark. Right then folks, ready to be amazed how this actually looks. Can't see nothing at the moment because all the lights are off. But the lights I'm about to put on should amaze you. And as it says, I have seen locomotives actually go over this bridge. Oh, some of them lights are a bit flickering. They've just gone off. So you can find out what went wrong there. Yeah, it's this post. No, it's just a bulb for that place. It does happen. Yeah, that's it. We are back up and running. I want to use the bigger locomotive, but the only problem is it doesn't actually go well on curves. You can see that I haven't got that much track. I'm not sure how well you can see that. Oh, it is noticeable. Right, shall we try that in a bit of daylight? So, lights are going off. And the lights are coming back on. The big lights. See? Now you can actually see that perfectly and see that the train is actually going over the bridge and not around it. No, I should say locomotive. It's not actually a train, it's just a locomotive. Right, when I bring it backwards now, I'll show you a different angle. And you can see though, I have to be serious that this does really work. See, right now the track. You see that? see that? Yes, we can. You'll have to excuse me because my laptop's a little bit heavy, so I'm going to have to do it like that. You should be able to see on the screen. I will rewatch the video to see if I've got it perfect, but the locomotive's got stuck. One sec, this does happen as well. It just needs a little nudge. Maybe my tracks need cleaning, but I do keep my tracks maintained, so that should work. There we go. Because the loco, oh, I'm looking at the wrong end. We'll let that go forwards. I don't think I caught that very well. Oh yeah, I did. I have now. And as it says, this locomotive really is slow. So what do you think, folks? Awesome or what? That's some solid tips of that working. So it is very easy and cheap to build stuff. That's absolutely brilliant for this stuff. But now I'm going to actually show you what I wanted to show you, because I refound my wagon. It was actually under my train station, so back in a mo. Sorry folks, I'm back again just for a couple of minutes, just to point out that that was the other suspension bridge that I bought, as you can built. As you can see, it's been around for quite a while, because if you can see on it, it's got all dust all over it and all sorts. So yeah, that was the failed attempt, but there was another one before this one, and I completely got rid of it because I was doing really well with this one. But I thought, because I got rid of the other one and this one messed up, I'd keep this one until I finished that one, which I still haven't finished it quite yet. I still need to build the lids for it. So back in a mo while I pack some stuff away. Oh, sorry, back again. I haven't finished packing away, but I wanted to point out that I built these not so long ago, because when I finished the second bridge, the suspension bridge didn't actually hire up to it. So I built these for it so it would actually reach to the height. Using cardboard for building is a brilliant idea if you're a modelling enthusiast. Right, not overly finished packing away just yet, so I will be pausing the video again, but another thing I've been working on is this. It's going to be a tunnel. As you can see, it is curved. It is made for the second radius. It's going to be a single tunnel, because all I've got at the moment is a standard circle, and I'm building this as a standard circle. The reason why it's cut off there is because you do not want this to be a big massive piece of cardboard that's hard to transport about. Do it in sections so it's easy to just put away. Sorry, another quick heads up, because I did have a second radius curve out. That's how it's going to be, and there will be a roof on top of that. And obviously there will be a what you call it, like a bedding going across there, so it holds up, standing to the heights of the bridges. Don't know how I'm going to put the level crossing in yet, but we'll find out. Sorry, back again with another quick heads up. I forgot that I actually started the next part of this, which is going to go like that. See how big it's going to be? And all down there is going to be a bank. That's the word I was looking for. It's going to be a bank down there leading to a sort of a field. Maybe have a farm somewhere on there. As it says, somewhere by the level crossing there will be a farm. So that might be leading up to going under the bridge, because I'm having a track go under and over that small bridge, this one. this one. See, track under and a track over. So just as the train comes from out of there, you'd think, oh, it would be more better if the train was on top. No, don't want it on top. Because that looks just as good like that together. But obviously that's going to slope down a bit, have a bit of a hill and lead up to the level of that. So it'll be probably about spaced out that far apart, just to make it look good. Because believe it or not, but some trains were actually used in agriculture, fetching milk and stuff like that from the farm. Right, another quick heads up on saying that I've got more HL scale stuff. Because this doesn't actually have a box and it was on top of all the stuff. As I opened the big box where I keep them all in. But as it says, that I do have good features of stuff where, as you can see, that is pretty neat. I can just get this one to slide like that, where the doors actually open. So yeah, that's another Santa Fe piece. As you can tell, that this is Santa Fe, got Burlington on it. Burlington Santa Fe. So once again, back in a jiff, because I want to pack all this away properly now. I don't think I've got any more heads ups. Exactly, not exactly a heads up, but as I said, I've got pickle wagon, Heinz pickles, and as it says, that it does have those. There is some of these that don't open because the thing snapped on a move, sold me this, glued the doors back on, but I'm hoping to find some replacement doors for this. I only need 2, so all the rest, that opens, that opens, that opens. That's the other one that's broke, that opens, and that opens. Yeah, there is only the 2. So I'm hoping to replace those. I want to try and, when I do get the replacements, I want to try and gently prise those off with a Stanley blade and replace them with the proper doors. So some of this HL scale stuff is really good. This is made by Athene, I think. I'm not sure who it's actually made by, because it doesn't say, and because I haven't got a box for it, I don't know. But judging from the wheels, it could also be completely different, because I've never actually seen any of my HL scale stuff have metal wheels. This is the only one that has metal wheels. Another thing that says that I do have more locomotives than what I showed. This does actually have a train set, but unfortunately I must have left it out. But none of these have boxes, so I can just show you straight from out the box. That's another one I have. And another one, like I said, I have quite a few L4Os. I will want to show running on this because all my stuff works, and if it doesn't work, I'll find a way to get it to work. Hi, welcome back. As you can see, I have a work table. I'm going to have to move the camera up now so you can't see my face, because whatever's holding my laptop up so you can see my workspace and see that I really do construct this stuff. I'm going to now move that up. We can actually see that this has got cut marks all over it, paint marks, the works. Because yes, there is some stuff that I have painted. I used water-based paints just for this particular job. But I do not just use water paints once again, I use a variety of stuff. But returning the attention to this, I actually found it was under my train station. I may have said that earlier in the video, I can't remember. properly, but when I just said that, I think I did. But when I said that I was building something for it, it's going to be a coal hopper that actually pours coal into it. Now, you're going to think, oh, how's he going to get that to stand up over that? Right, using the same technique as I used on the bridge and the this work has actually been started, as you could tell from that. Using the same technique as I used on the bridge and the level crossing. There's the base for it. You can actually see that it's got rails there, so that when the coal spills over, it actually doesn't get too caught on stuff and very easy to scoop up. Because obviously I want to be using real stuff. As you can see, those rails do not affect the wagon. Now the reason why I use these rails is because, as it says, I don't actually use the steel rails as such. The reason why I said as such is because obviously here I've used steel rails, and the rust look gives a good effect as if work goes on this. Well, as you can see, this is not just one track, it is double. Now I do have a switch point. People have got these spacers that can actually space out where the track's supposed to go. I actually use a switch point and figure out exactly where that goes. If I was to put a switch point and a right curve there, it would fit perfectly. I've tested it on both sides. So that's how you do it. I have one switch point here and one switch point now. Unfortunately, as I said before, I think that my little brother also has a switch point because I bought him some trains. I used his switch point and my switch point together and actually measured out exactly where that was. Instead of actually measuring the track and just drawing it to the side, the reason why it's perfect is because I tend to use one of these. It's called a ruler. Measured the track from there, from the sleepers at first, just to figure out roughly where that was going to go. Then I measured exactly the spacing of where the lines were, draw the lines and then just chop the lines out. That's why the track's actually fitting there perfectly. And if you can see, you can actually see the sleepers. Now I'm going to show you something. As you can see from that one, that it's actually hanging over the cardboard. If I lift that up, I should be able to pick up the cardboard. How I made that one, I cut just a little bit shorter than the sleepers, just so it could hold in, same as that one, and it looks the part. For one of those to go over the top, here's one that I started. I will show you how I actually built these. That's what my main point of this video actually was going to be. I ended up showing all my talent because I think it's brilliant. A lot of people have seen it and they've said it's brilliant, and as you can see on the video yourself, tell me it's not brilliant. But don't tell me it's not brilliant unless if you actually think it's not brilliant. Well, sarcasm can go about, because I'm probably one of the most sarcasm person you could probably come across. I'm actually very good with my sarcasm. So yeah, that's going to be going, oh, I've got it on the wrong track, my bad. That's going to be going over the top there, and obviously that one next to there, and because of the spacing, if you watch this, if I turn this upside down on there, and this one on there, you do have the gap in between where the frame structure will hit both sides. Oh, I've put that a bit too far over, right there. Thought that didn't look right. Hit both sides of the hoppers, and we'll go around, as you saw, just these little red bits of paper. They will stick onto there, but what I'm actually going to show you is how simple it is to actually make one of these. Now I kept the instructions because I actually drew the instructions so I could actually make two exactly identical. which is drawn from this. I don't know if you can see. Yes, you can. Let me bring it down a bit. So that there is the top part round there. But you're going to be amazed how I actually got it to fit together perfectly. And obviously the next one, wait there, can you see the piece now? And the next one down is obviously the triangular part, which is this bit here. All that dips in properly using these measurements, and then that there. So that the reason why it's got 10mm because the squares were just 10mm. Now to do this, just a quick diagram of where I actually cut them out instead of actually cutting them out again. You can see I cut all these parts separately, because that's just the triangles. I cut the square parts separately so it was all perfectly measured out. What actually held it together is this stuff, paper. Now the reason why paper, because the cardboard that I cut out, once you stick it over the paper, holds its shape perfectly. And then cut out triangular sides. I'll cut out the actual sides on this. That is one solid piece of paper put over the top to hold it solid. So all you do, just a quick demonstration. I'm going to need a pencil. I have actually put all my stuff away and actually brought all my stationery out with me. There we go. Pencils. You think I'll spend a lot of money on this, but I actually don't. Just give me a minute and my pencil will come out of there. I'll show you another feature as well of doing wiring. I can't remember what it was. Oh no, I was burning. What was I burning? I was burning something. Oh yeah, I was stripping wire, I think now. But somehow, I can't remember exactly how I did it now. But can you see all that black on there? I burnt it with a lighter somehow. I can't remember what I was actually doing. I think it was stripping a wire. I can't think what wire it was. Never mind about that. The pencil still works. So the measurements are all the way over there. Give me a second. I'm going to pause the video just to save time. Right, I'm back. It's alright. This fell all the way over there on the floor. But yeah. So as we see on the measurements there, that would be 50mm by 50mm by 25mm. So what you would draw there, I'm only going to do a siding and show you roughly how it's done. Obviously you'll do 4 of these, but I'm only going to do just the 2. So what is it? It's do the 50mm first. I'm going to do it on this end. I think, no, yeah, I'm going to do it here. So 50mm across. Let me sharpen up this pencil a little. It's a little blunt. Right there, where's my sharpener gone? Oh, it's right there in front of me. Don't need to take much off, but always keep your pencil sharp so you can get accurate measurements. Now the reason why I actually use these see-through rulers is for a specific reason. So I'm going to go my 50mm, which is 5cm. Right on 5. So the reason why I use these rulers is because now when I do my 25mm, I'm just going to go down. I'm best off doing it from that side. And the reason why is because I can actually put that line right over the line on the ruler, right over the pencil line, and that'll give you the exact 90 degrees. And when we come to doing the triangular part, you'll see how simple it actually is to do. So, done my 50mm, I want 25, so that's 2.5 centimeters, which is that. And you do the same on this bit. We need to turn that around again. Always do the short lines to the large lines, because you'll know then if it's accurate or not. So if the large line does not fit to the specification, it means that you have one of your lines out of line. There we go. Now then we do 50mm there. Yep, that is absolutely perfect. I could be doing this quicker because I just realised I'm supposed to be doing 2 of these at a time. Not getting right on the edge of the line. If you want the specifications absolutely perfect. Because this is actually quite fun to do. A lot of people have done this, but I need to do my 50mm again that way. It's not on the line. Let me get it perfectly on the line. Let me do it from this side. So I know that I need to be going to 10 centimeters from the 5. That's a bit too high up. Let me start again. Let me rub that out, because I should have gone straight for the 10mm. Right. Also, it's good to have, because this is good for drawing a small diagram, is a 30cm ruler, but I don't have one of those. I have something better, which is a better replacement of a 30cm ruler. This is actually, it actually marks out 45 centimeters, but leaves off a gap. This is probably about 95 centimeters. I want to do that to do my 10mm, so I'm starting again. I want to go over this side of the page. Didn't want to do this because I still need this paper to do those bits on the other one. So I've done the top part. You do these separately so you can get them to angle and give off a good texture of like where it's split. Also, as you can see in there, there are perfect straight lines. You'll see how them lines come to be. So we want the 10mm. Not 10mm, 100mm, which is 10 centimeters. And go from there down to 25mm. Make sure that the line is perfectly straight with the line that you've drawn. The line on the ruler perfectly straight with the line that you've drawn. So it gives you the perfect right angle. It can sometimes slightly go off. If it does do that, that means that your pencil is not sharp, or you're using a dodgy surface like I am, because there's all glue and stuff all over this from doing constructing and all sorts. Which by rights I should actually be drawing on the table, not literally drawing on the table. Like, instead of resting on the baseboard, I should really be resting on the table, which I'm actually going to switch and do because it's easier. But when it comes to the gluing, that's when I'll be using that, because that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be gluing this to make a solid shape. So I want the 25mm, which is that. And then we're going to do the same 10mm again, except for this time we are going to add a little bit of a feature. Right, as it says, can't mess it up using a rough surface. Them lines are actually out of proportion. I had a feeling there was, that's why I mentioned it. But it's no biggie. All you do is rub them out. And 10mm back, 100mm, sorry, back there. Try again with drawing 25mm. I noticed as well that I didn't actually go right to the 100mm. I was a little bit short off, so that's not overly straight. There, now it is. Same on this side. Once I've shown you this part, that's where I'm going to end the video and continue to build the rest of it, because I don't even know how I'm going to do it yet. I do keep on having thoughts in my head of ways of getting these to stand up, but I think also I'm going to be having a working conveyor belt, so it does not just sit there and do nothing. I have the motor already planned to roll the conveyor belt around. That's slightly off, but not too bad. So 100mm that way. Now on the 100mm now, you want to go halfway down the middle. Draw a line across that using the other ruler. Get it right on the dot so the pencil actually draws over the dot, because that's what you want. Yep, perfect. So I know that them two are the same size. Now, come to drawing the angle. As you see on the diagram, you can see that that there is 50mm, that there is going to be 10mm. So from the 50mm, we want to go half, which would be 25mm. We put a dot on the 25mm, which gives you the exact halfway point. And then these bits here, the angle, these lines here, the angle, you can see it's got 45mm on there, but you are not going to get that 45mm until you draw this 50mm line, which that's what that middle dot is for. So from that middle dot, get it lined up perfect, get a perfect straight line. Draw it down to the 50mm, and then, as you know, this little square here is 10mm all the way around, so that little line at the bottom will be 10mm. So instead of actually just drawing a 10mm line, you got the halfway point of 10, half of 10 is 5, put the 5 line in line with, should do it from the other side, so I'll get it perfectly straight. So you put the 5mm on the line to know that that's going to be exactly accurate, and then you draw your 10mm line. Shit, I went a little bit over there, so I'm going to have to take a little bit off the end. You do not want this one to mess up, otherwise you will not get your shape. haven't took enough off. Shut up now. Yeah. Took just the right amount off. So, right to the edge. There we go. Now, obviously, corner to the edge of the 10mm line. Oh, I should have showed you. Right, that's the shape that you're aiming for. That's what I've drawn out so far. So from this corner here to the edge of the little line that you've just drawn, and that should be 45mm. When I've drawn it, I'll see if I can get the camera to see the measurement of the 45mm. You don't have to have a precise measurement because what you are drawing already is a precise measurement. I've even drawn a little line over. Doesn't matter about that. You're not going to see it when you actually do this. Well, shall we measure out? Oh, I read the number back to front. This actually says 54mm. Let me have a look at that. Oh yes, sorry, I looked it wrong. If I hold it up that way, oh, because I read it on the camera, that's why. But if you look, the 5's backwards and then the 4's backwards, so instead of it being 45, it's 54. And that's what's just measured out here. That's how I just realised that. If I can bring the camera to see it. Let's have a look. I cannot see it. Unfortunately, I can't see the screen. I'm not sure where I'm actually aiming. Oh, there we go. It's not very good because I'm not sure where I'm actually aiming the camera. There we go. That way up. I don't know if you can see it because I can't see the screen, but that does measure out 54mm on that line. And then obviously, same again on the other side because that is smack on in the middle. And you'll know it if this side now reaches 54. If you do the same again, always work to the outside of the lines so you can actually point out the exact edge of the lines. That should measure out 54mm. Yep, smack on 54mm. Sorry, I'm going to have to pause the video because I need toilet. Welcome back. I'm just going to give a little quick heads up. I'm going to show you how I actually fitted this onto there so you can get a rough idea on how to do it. I will draw out the measurements on that and cut them out just to show you how it's actually done when I've done this part. Because this is just a quick demonstration, right? Obviously, we want 2 of these. Obviously, you'll do 4 to make a complete square. I'm just doing an angle, just a corner piece. So we want to do the same thing again. Half of 5 is half of 5 centimeters is 20. Yeah, it's 25mm. So 2.5 centimeters. 50 centimeters down again. Just get that lined up perfectly. There we go. So 50 millimeters down, which is 5 centimeters. Stop there. And your paper upside down again, so you can line up the 5mm with that line. And instead of drawing 5mm, draw 10mm, so it's making that T shape again. I've gone a little bit over again. do not want your lines to go over, because if you try and measure from the edge, you'll end up with a lopsided piece of work, and the measurement won't be accurate. So same again. Point that out. And turn it this way, point this out on this side, and just make it so it's making that shape. I already know that these will be the right measurements, because that is completely square, even on the inside. But as you can see, them lines in there, how you get them perfectly straight. Them lines inside there are those lines there, the middle ones. And then obviously when they join up, it looks the part. And how to do that now? Oh, forgot to draw the box on the end. So from the line, measuring out perfectly. Obviously it's 1 centimetre, 10 millimetre. Oh, I haven't got the line straight. I did a lopsided square. There we go. Where is it? Oh yeah, can you see that? A little line coming down, and then you do the same for the other side. The reason why you do it this way, what I'm doing. So 10 millimetre down, you put the 1 on there this time. So always make sure that the ruler is over the line, so you can get perfectly straight lines. This is just a quick demonstration, because obviously I want to continue with the proper stuff that I've been building. You want it to end up looking like that. Now when you put the ruler across there, it should line up with both lines. If it doesn't, that means that you've got an incorrect measurement. Oh, I've got the paper the wrong way. Yeah, that's perfect. Just going to line it properly, there we go. There we go. It's as simple as that. Same again with the 10 millimetre on the other one. Straight. You draw this shape out all the way across. The 4, I'm only doing 2. In all fairness, to get this shape you would need 4, and you'd need them all joined together, and you'll see why when I put this one together. Or when I draw the next part, you might actually grab on. Right, so obviously I'm going to want these bits to join together at an angle. Now how do we do that? Right. I use 5mm, but you can go as big as you want as long as it doesn't overlap the other side. But if you've ever done paper folding, you'll know exactly what I'm doing. And I don't mean origami or however it's pronounced. This is not origami, because this is actually what I call paper folding, because you actually glue this together. You're going to think, how the hell are you supposed to glue that together? You'll see, when I draw this, you'll think, oh, I remember doing that in school. So there we go, I've gone 5mm there. That looks a bit too close to that part. I'm going to redraw that line. Oh, I'll just cut that bit off actually. I'll do it at a straight angle for this one. So it'll still work the same. There we go. Draw 5mm from this one. Join that up and then I'll show you the shape in a minute of what I've just drawn. I think 5mm is probably a bit too small, but we'll find out. So I've drawn a little lip there. I did draw an extra line, but I've overlapped that so it doesn't interfere with this side, because that lip there will glue to that side, holding it in shape. And obviously on the square part, you do not want these lines straight, you want them at an angle, all of them facing away from one another. So 5mm there. I've not done it accurate, but it doesn't have to be accurate because you're not going to see this. From there, and you repeat that along all four. You see this what I've drawn now is a little flap on that one. You do that for all four, so it'd be on that one, but I'm not going to do the other one because this is just a demonstration. So what we do now, we cut it out. Do not go in any lines at all. You cut all the lines out what you've drawn on the outside. So here we go. And you want to do it carefully and get the lines as straight as possible. Just move that piece out of the way. I do have a few ideas. The reason why I won't demonstrate the conveyor belt is because it's probably going to take me more than one attempt to actually get this accurate, considering I've never ever built anything like this in my life. But I just have the knowledge and know-how up my head. So let's actually do a rough cut around it just to save my paper, because I need this paper for constructing the rest of those, and I can't seem to cut this bit off properly. So if you can see, as I'm doing, just cutting all the outlines. Do not go on any of the inlines, because if you do, you'll ruin it. Right, I can see where now that's messed up. I haven't got no left-handed scissors, but I'm going to try and use my left hand to cut this off. And it's hard to do when you're using right-handed scissors. I've left a little bit of a nib on there. I can't really get it. Turn the paper upside down. I can't see the actual edging of the blade. I hope I don't go over any lines. No, got it. Perfect. So just keep right to the edge of the lines and you just keep cutting them out. I'm going to need my baseboard in a minute because I'm going to be using glue. So I will be pausing the video again when I cut this out. Now, I think that the lines being on the inside give it good texture, but you do not have to have the lines on the inside, you can have them on the outside. I should say, I'm not going to be pausing the video after I've cut this out. I'm pausing the video after I've done the folding. That's what it's called, paper folding. And you'll see how important it is to actually keep close to the lines. I'll try and rip that off. It's not working. Can't get this little piece out. Just doesn't want to come out. I think I've just got it. Yes, I've just got it. Sweet. So you want to be looking like that. That is perfect how I've actually just cut that. Always use the highest part of the scissors when you cut down, because scissors will always be straight unless if you've got broken ones. So now to cut the next part, you want to don't try and cut that bit, cut straight up, and then when you're in the open space, try and cut right to, because on the open space you can go any direction, cut right inwards and then turn towards the other line that goes all the way up, and you just cut it perfectly straight. Nearly went off the line. There we go. So we have that shape. Now obviously these bits here, you just follow the lines again and just cut them out. First off, going from this way towards the square, so you don't cut the square. As it says, this is just a quick demo. So I won't be doing a perfect job on this. But I am doing a perfect job, but I'm not gonna bother cutting that bit out, because obviously another one would connect to that. It's pointless me showing that part, considering I haven't even drawn the lips for it to stick to something else, because it can't stick to something else. If I was to try and stick it to the other side of this, I'd end up with just a folded piece of paper that's been folded completely in half. We can fold it in half. I have to do that anyway. But you'll see why. And you'll see how perfect and easy and quick this is. And I'm obviously going to cut the top part because that's a bit of an important part. So yeah, obviously I'm going to have to show this bit actually for when you come to doing the last one. You would also have a flap on that bit there. That bit there, obviously, that's always got a flap, and so on. So always make sure you got a flap on there so it can connect to the last piece. The first piece, sorry. Obviously it'll be on the fourth one because you want that sort of shape. So what we do now is to get it on the inside. Say that if I folded it that way, that would have been the inside. So to get them lines, what I have on mine, you fold it this side. Like so. Then you fold this flap here perfectly flush with that line. If you can't get it perfectly straight and it's starting to be annoying, you can always do what I'm about to do. Put the ruler right on the straight line that you're trying to fold it against, and lift it up to the ruler and fold it over. And that should be perfectly flush with the line, which it is. And on the last piece, same again, fold it that way. Now whatever you do, do not try and stick it like that because you're going to make a complete mess. That needs folding backwards. You've got to keep that shape. Always fold the fold lines to the back. It looks a hell of a lot neater. So I say I've got to fold this one back as well. So fold all them so them sort of that angle. Obviously they fold inwards. You want to be folding them like that. You're not getting that straight to the line. Same again with this one. You want it on the inside. And when you let go of it, it should start taking shape. Now obviously that looks a bit out of proportion, but it's not. It's actually supposed to be at that angle. You'll see how it goes when we glue it. I'm pausing the video now and we can get my glue. Right, I'm back. In the meantime, I will be, after I've done what glued this together while that's drying, I will be putting these on. But also another good tool to have is these. I paid £1 for these. They are glue stick spreaders. They are glue spreaders rather. Still stick, but never mind. Let's not bore you with what the names are of things. So half the time I get it wrong. I make up my own names for them. If I don't know what they're called. And the name I normally give them makes sense to what they actually are. Or what purpose they can use for. Doesn't matter if you get glue on the paper part. When it dries see-through. As I said, you want to stick it to the back of, what's it called? It's not going square at the moment. No, it is. Leave it open slightly. Get that bit covered with glue. Spread it. and make sure that everything collides together properly. Obviously it does go a bit out of shape at first, but when you glue the last part it pulls it completely together. You just got to make sure that the lines actually match up with the corners. As you can see, it's not exactly square yet, but if I was to glue that completely, it does form that shape. You can see that that is perfectly square. Right, now to put the cardboard on it. Very simple, because obviously you glue the cardboard to this side of it, so that sits in the middle. This way hold the shape. Now what I said I was going to cut the cardboard out, but I'm not. You can see where I've cut a triangle out there, that triangle. Oh, I'm not showing it on the camera, I should have showed from this one as well. That triangle would fit perfectly to that. Unfortunately I couldn't do it properly because of that little lip there, where, the little spout, sorry, that's at the bottom. But you can tell that if that was to be held together, that would be perfectly square. So all you do is cut them shapes out, which I actually started first. Cut them shapes out first, just to get the measurements, and then I made this, just so I could see roughly how it was going to go. Then I didn't paint over the cardboard. That is actually another layer of paper over the other side, just to cover it. Oh, I should have mentioned actually, you shouldn't actually cut right to the edge of the top of this where I have. You should leave a flap so it goes over the top of the cardboard. As you can see there, but there's a bit of a flap that's actually gone over to the other side of the cardboard, just to hold it steady while you put the other piece of paper on this side. As you can tell from what I'm about to do now. On this one, as you can see, the cardboard is there is one that shows it. Yeah, there. As you can see, that is different to that. That is actually split cardboard, because I did one going one way and one going the other. As you can see on this, so that one's got the long way of the lines, where that one's, no, where's it gone? There, where that one is horizontal to the lines, meaning these lines that are going across the cardboard this way. Oh no, I should have said vertical, sorry. That one's the horizontal one to the lines, that one's vertical. Alright, if I had turned it that way I would have said it correctly. Right, so anyway, once you've done that, you cut that out again on a piece of paper. That's where you cut the normal one, so you'd be cutting one of these out. I'm going to dismantle this just to do a quick demonstration, because this actually is no good to me. I'm going to cut that off there, just to give a quick demo. Obviously you wouldn't have the flaps on this, but you paint that and then you stick it on with glue, stick it on like that. And like I said, I'll show you with these now. These have not been stuck on, but they have been painted only on the one side, because you only need the paint on one side. These bits are going to go around the edge there. I'm going to stuck these on. I am stopping the video completely and I'm going to bed. And that'll be my video for being put up on YouTube, hopefully. I will still give a heads up on the conveyor when I've built it. Say exactly how I've built it, like I just showed with these. Unfortunately I couldn't do that with the bridge properly because that's a bit too much work because of all the string and that, but you could see how it went together and how it was plugged together. Pretty simple. I mean, never actually do a construction in a solid form. Start it with 2D and then turn that 2D into 3D, because then you get better shapes. As I said, with this, started off 2D, cutting the cardboard out in separate varieties, then making a 3D paper template that actually fitted inside perfectly. We held the cardboard together. I mean, it's solid. I wouldn't recommend using cereal boxes for this, because if you try to use a cereal box it would be too thin and it would probably fold and not be as solid. You want corrugated cardboard. Make sure that when you do these big parts you always have solid and pressable, because when rocks and stuff hit that, it could cause it to leach out and stuff like that. So with the solid one and the weak one, the weak one gives it a bit of suspension, the solid one holds its form. That's what I believe anyway. It might still work if doing it the other way, but it'd probably be harder to do as well. So I always stick with the horizontal vertical scenario, because that's a horizontal vertical. That's with the lines on the cardboard. When you come to doing the bases though, you do not want to use single corrugated cardboard. There is such thing as double corrugated cardboard. Now you can use single corrugated cardboard, but you have to double it up with another single corrugated cardboard to make it into a double, which you may as well just use double corrugated cardboard. And that's what this is. As you can tell, I glued that together. That's only one sheet of cardboard in the middle. If I remove that, you can see that would just be a normal standard piece of cardboard. The reason why double corrugated is so you can cut that section out, still leaving cardboard underneath it to hold its form. That one go back in. There we go. So that's a piece of this now. And then obviously when I cut these ones out, I've cut it to the actual 45, draw it to the 45. These bits I think are actually 1.5mm. I'll check that in a minute. Wherever I'll put the ruler, there it is. Check that now. Before I put the last one on, it's easy to check. I'll just do it from flat. No one. Let me get rid of the bridges of that. That'll do that. 1.6, and it'll be 5, 6, 7, 8mm in for the fold line. So 1.6 to the whole thing. That line will be 8mm, middle line, and that will be the line that you fold on. Because this is to the outside, you'd want the line on the inside. Always have the lines towards the inside. Probably another reason why I ended up with them lines in the middle, to keep the lines to the inside. But it does give it a good looking texture. I'll show you once more. of how brilliant that does look. It does look like it's ready to have coal flowing down it. So yeah, always do everything separately, because then you end up with good looking features like that. Obviously I'm not going to put none at the bottom because I don't need to. Because the bottom is the most solid part because it's small. When rocks hit in there, it's not going to bother it that much. I mean, it does look a bit iffy with the cardboard sitting like that, but I actually put all them cardboards the exact same way just to give that same texture all the way around. It does look good, but them bits on a real thing, this is why it's good to have these. They would be riveted on for the structure to hold its shape, and inside there where I've got them lines, they would actually be two halves of a piece of metal welded together, tack welded, because it's completely flat, and when the rivets go on, it'll just hold its shape. Quite fascinating really how structural work is done. Anyway, that's the end of my video. Thanks for watching. Happy building.